Come on, baby.
Earlier this week, we spoke to you about two occupiers, two activists in New York City who suddenly found their faces posted all over flyers in the 30th precinct in New York City.
The flyer brands the Harlem duo as professional agitators for taking multiple videos of police officers during stop and frisk.
Stop.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
That's a stop crime. Stop and frisk.
Taking pictures is not a crime, though each has been arrested multiple times for what they describe as civil disobedience.
And you have a title?
Yeah, my name is Christina. I'm a professional agitator. That's what the 30th precinct has labeled me.
You work for a organization?
No, I'm working for myself and my community. I don't want to see young black people going to prison. I'm doing the work that needs to be done. It's my moral obligation. That's what we should all be doing.
No, the only reason I asked for a title was just if you need to put your name on TV. That was why you have a title.
No, I'm just Christina.
He has a title, that's why.
You can put professional agitator. So we're here at Brooklyn Criminal Court. They're charging us with blocking a doorway. You know, we're charging them with illegally harassing and humiliating hundreds of thousands of young black and Hispanic men in this city.
85% of the people who are stopped and frisked are black or Latino. It's illegal, it's racist, it's immoral, and it's illegitimate.
And so how do you stop it? How do you get your message across? There's no one out here.
How we get our message across is like we did last year.
People are scared to be out here. You have to understand that. That's why nobody's out here, because people are scared. That's why. Because the mainstream media is lying to everyone. That's why.
Let me get you. Don't go away.
I'm not going anywhere.
So what is that again? Tell me what you're saying.
I'm saying there's 2,000 of these happening every day in the city.
Right.
And NBC4 shows the same 4 clips.
No, let's not get
of
about
stop and
4.
frisk.
Let's talk about the problem here. Let's
I'm
exclude,
explaining to you the problem.
let's exclude the TV station. It's not going to run that. How do you stop this?
I'm not talking about running anything. You can't put me on TV.
Then I won't. That's fine. I don't care.
But that's what we're saying, sir, that you can't put it on TV. You cannot.
I don't want to.
You cannot play
I'm
the
here,
truth.
I'm here to give you guys some coverage.
You're not giving me a goddamn thing. Let me explain something to you. Put a stop and frisk on TV. There's 2,000 of them a day in this city. You guys don't put any on TV. And then you're gonna come out here and be snide about why we don't have supporters.
I asked the question.
How many times? Let's do an interview for you. Tell me about your first stop and frisk. The first time you were stopped and frisked.
What's this guy all pissed off about? Who's this guy? Who am I?
Who are you?
Who am I?
If you are covering stop and frisk, you should know who that man is. You should know. If you are covering stop and frisk, my name is Christina, and you should know who I am too, because Channel 4 already did a report on me and my partner and how our faces have been put on a poster.
1 out of every 36 hours, a person in law enforcement is killing a black person in this country, and you're making jokes about stop and frisk.
I didn't make a joke. I asked a legitimate question.
No, you laughed and you walked away.
There's no supporters.
That's what
You
you
guys
did.
suck.
And you keep asking him
worst
about who
media in
he
the
is,
free
but
world.
if you
You got a lot of
were
fucking nerve.
if you were
Who am
doing
I?
a lot of
Who are you?
research on
Who are
your
you?
story, you would find out who he was. You would find out who he was. You would find out who I am.
Tell him about the wanted poster.
So why now why are you walking away? Like every time we mention wanted poster, you walk away, and now you're friends with the court officers. I don't understand what your deal is.
Come down here being snide. Go ahead, white man, go somewhere. Tell me about your first stop and frisk.
In this last year, interacting with populations that I haven't had much opportunity to interact with in previous years of my life, I know that there's a ton of rage on this, and that most people are just silent because they have to be. And the privilege that I have in this society is that I can sort of speak at length and loudly and with profanity if I want, and in pretty pointed ways, and I don't get arrested.
You got a problem with that?
I'm talking to NBC.
We say no to the new Jim Crow.
Stop and frisk has got to go!
I'm just kind of being myself, agitating loudly, publicly, and regularly, so that it became not just a facet of my personality, but it's kind of became and is what I do.
How about that we are going to create the beginning of a new America on this day, that we are going to start a real revolution here.
A friend told me about Occupy Wall Street. When I heard about it, I just went right down there. Actually, I saw her making a sign. I was like, where are you going with that sign? And then she told me, she's like, oh my God, there are these people. They're sleeping in the park. You know, they're protesting Wall Street.
We are going to occupy this park right next to Wall Street.
And I was like, what? I packed my bag. I brought a blanket. And I went straight down there. And I ended up sleeping there that first night, actually on some cardboard boxes.
A little bit of jumping jacks. A couple of jumps. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1,
During my first few days at Occupy, I saw, randomly some people being arrested. But September 24th was way different. It was just like a huge, spontaneous march.
Hey, ho, ho. More Rick Reed has got to go.
We marched from Zuccotti Park down into Wall Street. And when we got down there, the barricades were up. And that's when the cops were really getting kind of crazy. I remember one young man getting down on his knees and saying, like, I surrender, take me. Like, you took everything from my parents.
You took it! You took it! And we're gonna take it back.
That's right, baby. That's
You
right.
took it! And we're gonna take it back. I submit. I submit.
Folks, you gotta get
I
out of this
submit.
thing, okay?
Take me. I submit. Take me. I submit. Take me. I submit. I submit. Take me. Take me. I submit. I submit.
And he wouldn't move. And they picked him up and dragged him away. And the cameras followed that.
They'll take your home. My dad has a PhD, and they took his home. He's got cancer, and he's gonna die. Don't just stand by. Do something. Please do something. Please do something.
And then there was a woman who was a journalist, and she had a camera. And she was then arrested, and I was following those arrests taking place. And I remember it really seeming like it was getting serious at that point.
Who streets? Our streets! Who streets? Our streets!
And it was just like lots of people and just loud chants, and there were lots of cops following us along, but there were way more of us than there were of them.
Fuck you!
I had a bad exchange with some officers there.
Take a step back. Listen, go over there.
Fucking sell out. We're doing this for you. My energy levels were just elevated to that point. I remember I didn't even have water the whole march, and we were going for hours. I just remember there being so many of us, and there were all these people on the sidelines. Some people were looking like they didn't know what was going on, but a lot of people looked like they were really happy that we were marching.
Get your freedom back! Get your democracy back! Count it! Get your streets back!
We were in the street the whole time, and the cars kept coming towards us, and we were like weaving in and out of the taxis and the trucks that were there. And it was shortly after that we reached Union Square. And when we got to Union Square, that's when the cops pulled out the orange nets and really like forcefully pushed us back. I remember like tears coming down my face because I just couldn't believe. I mean, we're marching. Why are you pushing us? Why are you beating us down?
You don't need that. You don't need that.
that time, there had already been several arrests near Union Square. A guy named Luke, who I ended up being in the back of a police van with, he actually got thrown down to the floor. His face was kicked, smashed on the floor.
What's your name?
Back up. Back up. I'm not going to ask you again. Back up. You're getting arrested. Back up or get arrested.
We turned around and we began to march back downtown. And by that time, the cops were just everywhere. Those orange nets were everywhere. We got to about 12th and University, and they had wrapped some people in the orange barriers. And then that's when you just see the cops just coming in and arbitrarily just snatching people out of the crowd. And I was filming the whole time. I was being yelled at to back off. And there was a guy who was wearing a tie-dye shirt, and I was filming him being arrested. And a cop jumped in my way as I was filming. And I was like, get out of my way. We had this exchange of words, and next thing I heard somebody say, get her. And then put me in the back of a van. And there were about 16 or 17 of us in there. And we stayed in there for about 6 hours until finally we were taken out. And then we were processed in the precinct. And about 1 a.m. I got out and walked all the way back downtown with no shoes on. And everyone was down there just like telling their stories and letting people know that they're okay. There was lots of media there.
Our top story this half hour, dozens of activists are under arrest after their demonstration in Manhattan's Union Square got out of hand.
Many of the activists say the experience has only strengthened their resolve. Those like Christina Gonzalez, who was released from jail with a summons for disorderly conduct, immediately rejoined protesters.
Look at all the people that are here now. The whole world is seeing this. Everyone's seeing what's going on. We did nothing today. We did not deserve this.
Somebody said something about the police beating kids downtown. And so I logged on to YouTube and watched some videos, and Stina was one of the first videos I saw. And I was like, I gotta go check this out. So I went down the following day, and it was nuts. Free haircuts, free cigarettes, free knowledge. It was just like it was a good scene. And I pretty much went back every day after that. She had a really big sign at the time. So I listened to her a couple times, and I thought she was like 8 feet tall. I don't even think I went up and said hello to her. And then she came up for the stop and frisk stuff, and we marched a couple times together, and I think just had some short greetings.
They just come and randomly just pick somebody and search them.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't hang on the corner. Pay taxes. I work. I pay taxes.
Yeah.
You tell me I can't stand here for a little while. That's not right.
This is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm hearing.
I think the first time I heard about stop and frisk was when I was teaching in the South Bronx. But I knew that there was something happening that was beyond just policing.
Let's talk to you.
This is often harass people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I once was in 2010, lost my job. So they presumed to throw me down, and I was talking about my rights. Presumed to say I was buying drugs, busting my lips, right? Scalded my hand.
I think right now, anything out of the norm now, they're told, make an arrest, we'll figure out the charges later.
If you're going to detain somebody, they should know why they're being detained.
Detained, and he didn't tell me that, and then he said I was buying drugs. So when they go to check me, I have a drug from me.
I know that we had been arrested at least twice, and I still didn't know his name then. But I remember really knowing who he was when I heard about the Ray Kelly video.
I had done a video where I yelled at Ray Kelly for a while at Columbia, kind of threw him out of a building, giving him the Bull Connor Award.
Thank you, sir, for giving the city safe for white heterosexual males. Sir, I'm presenting you with the 2011 Bull Connor Award. Thank you, sir. I have never felt safe. I've lived in this city for 6 years, and I have never been stopped and frisked. Thank you, sir, on behalf of white heterosexual Christian males city. We appreciate your support, sir. My wealth feels safe here. My privilege feels safe here. Thank you, sir. White people, thank you, sir. Would you like your award, sir?
When I saw the video, I was just like, oh yeah, I remember. And I just remember thinking like, wow, that's hot. I got to tell him, you know, that this is beautiful. Like anybody who's got enough courage to stand up to the police commissioner, and in that way too, is just really amazing in my eyes.
Thank you. On behalf of white people everywhere, I say thank you. Thank you, sir.
Put 2 mushrooms in there?
I'm gonna put 2, yeah. Is that good?
You put it in the egg, yeah?
Huh?
In the egg?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. This onion is ours.
Yeah. I haven't been arrested maybe since June, so that's pretty good. Oh, July. That's a lie. It was July. Matt got me arrested. Are you gonna be my witness on Monday?
Monday I'll be your witness.
I only have you. You're my only witness as to what happened. So.
You want to?
You have no choice.
What are they going to ask me? I mean, how is my word going to be taken as anything but just like, obviously I'm on your side?
I mean, of course that's what it's going to be. Our word against theirs.
Right.
But you're the only person that was there when it happened. And Vargas.
Officer Vargas?
Mm-hmm. He was there. So maybe we should link those things too and say like, well, he's arrested him before and he was the officer over here, you know? Maybe we should call Vargas as a witness.
I think that's what our effort should be. If they keep wanting to address them as isolated incidents, we should say that's not what this is. You know, we're being followed from courthouse to courthouse by these same officers, these special whatever units. We know these guys already. And none of this stuff, you know, if we get arrested on a given day for something, whatever they write on the paper, they're arresting us for things we did 3 weeks ago, basically. It's retaliatory.
I had spent a few weeks with Matt here. I kind of like just invited myself to his place, and a bunch of other occupiers came to stay, and we all just slept on the floor in sleeping bags. So really, is that the only thing that was in here? Was just this chair, right? And you had another chair, the one that I got chocolate all over?
There was a little mama san that I borrowed from a roommate, and you sat on some chocolate and melted it. Got chocolate on your booty.
And that's when you fell in love with me?
That's when I fell in love.
But you didn't tell me?
With your chocolate booty.
Yeah, I just thought Matt was like a really cool guy, and nothing physical had happened until that point. And I was kind of thinking like, oh, well, New Year's is here. Like, you know, if there's any time that I'm going to get a kiss, maybe it'll be for a New Year's kiss. And that was just a really crazy night. By that time there had been barricades all around the park, and this was only like a month or so after the raid, and people started pulling the barricades away and pulling them into the center of the park, but then the cops were pulling them back, and then there was a point where like barricades were flying, and I thought people were really gonna get hurt because like the end of these barricades are really sharp, and the cops just have them in their hands, and they're pushing us, and we're pushing back at them, and we're pulling them, and it was just like really chaotic. There was pepper spray flying everywhere, and people were getting arrested, and I was just like, whoa. But it was close to midnight, and I'm calling Matt, and I'm like, where are you? He's like, I'm on top of the barricade. So we had built a huge pile of barricades in the middle of the park, and people at the top held the sign, Occupy Wall Street, and we just jumped up and down on there, and the ball dropped, and that was our first kiss. It was really sweet. So that's how I started my New Year's, being arrested with maybe 70 other people.
It's 9:20.
9:20?
You guys supposed to be there 9:30, right?
9:30. Yeah, I'm not stressed in the whole time thing. They waste our time.
How you been?
Now I'm taking it all the way to trial. I won't accept an ACD. I'm not gonna take community service. If more people are doing what I'm doing, we can jam up the court systems.
I miss you.
He told me a few weeks ago, he's like, well, the DA just contacted me. They said they'll drop your felony, but you got to plead guilty to a misdemeanor. I was like, get out of here. I'm not pleading guilty to anything.
Yeah.
So Especially not a misdemeanor, that's a crime.
Yeah.
Then I went to court on Monday, and as soon as we stepped up, the judge was like, insufficient, you know? And the officer who arrested me was standing right there. He's also the officer who had...
Arrested Matt?
Oh, no, the first time I was in the courthouse over there, slammed my face into the wall, dragged me down the hallway, made some really nasty sexual comments towards me. So it was that same guy. I guess it's so time consuming. Like there was a point during the spring into the summer where we were in court 2 to 3 times a week between my court dates and Matt's court dates. And subsequently I lost my job. I had a server job and they had to let me go because I wasn't there and they had to replace me.
Yeah, well, we're getting out of the police game. That's the goal. The goal for this year is to get into sustainability, food justice, and continue to do cop watch, but not have that be like the sole thing that we're identified with.
Stop, stop, and frisk. Seize and desist. Stop, stop, and frisk. Seize and desist. Stop.
We got a label affixed to us that has a history. It's quite a big honor actually, and I hope to live up to it. It's no small thing. I hadn't really ever been called a professional anything in my life. It wasn't until I was like in my 30s, 35 years old, that somebody thought to recognize me for my work and like take it seriously.